We're continuing to build our farm here in Harvest Valley, and we'll probably build some areas around the entire map just to suit our style of gameplay. In our first video, we demolished a few buildings and sold off all of our equipment in order to generate some cash. Now we need to do a little landscaping around the area to add some character to the farm. First of all, I do have a mod called Free Landscaping installed, so most of what we do here is not going to cost us anything. First thing I want to do is a little landscaping around the house here. It's got a nice little spot here right on the lake, and it's a nice house, but it just lacks a little bit more of detail. We just want to clean it up just a little bit and make it look just a little bit different than what it does now. First thing though, if we take a look at the ground texture here, it's sort of a mix of, I guess, sandy soil and gravel. But if we go into our construction menu, over here to landscaping, down to painting, we see that we have these 6 textures available to us, and that's all we have. This gravel here, we'll put a little bit of it down here and then go take a look at it. We can see that this ground texture here is a lot more rock than it is sandy looking soil. And so since we cannot duplicate this ground here, we're going to change the entire farm to this gravel here. And that's going to take just a little bit of work, but it's not that difficult. So the first thing we do is go into our construction menu, over to landscaping, over to painting, and we're going to select this gravel here. We're going to use a square brush and we'll increase the size of it just a little bit here. Zoom in just a tad, and then we'll just start changing this gravel. If we make any mistakes, we'll just go back and correct them. It's not that big a deal. Just bump up in through here and touch some of this. And then we'll just continue to do this all the way around the map. Hitting some of these areas and changing all of this. Takes a little getting used to using these tools here. But once you do, it's not a big deal. So we made it all the way around the farm, and this is the last little bit we've got left. So we will gravel all of this, and we'll be finished with doing the bulk of that work. Now, if you made some mistakes along the edges, like, bumping into things like that, that's no big deal because we're going to go back and detail everything from here on out. But for right now, we've got everything done, graveled around the entire farm here, and we're ready to add some details. Now, those of you have probably noticed, there used to be a horse barn here and a chicken coop here. I've since changed my mind about where I wanted those, and I've located the horse barn here and the chicken coop over here. And then we're going to landscape around everything else and see if we can make it work. Now, I got a comment from the previous video about where the Demolish mod is. Well, as I explained to that person, there is no Demolish mod. It is all built into the construction menu. If we go into the construction menu and go all the way over here to the red Demolish button, now we can demolish anything we want. That little target in the middle, when you get onto an item, it'll turn red. All I have to do is just click on it, and it'll give you a message. Do you want to sell the large petrol tank for $26.5? Yes, we do. We're also going to get rid of that big steel container there and this fertilizer tank right there, because we're going to relocate those items over to the shop area. I didn't like where I put these 2 items here, so we're just going to demolish those 2. And if you notice, this little vehicle workshop cost us $1,000 in the beginning, but since we already have this mod called Full Refund, when we go to sell it, we get that full $1,000 back. That was another comment that somebody had. See, now I clicked too far on that and wants to demolish my garage building in the back. Anytime you make a mistake like that, which I do quite a bit sometimes, just hit your no button and you just get right back out of it. Next thing we want to do is add in a couple of the things that we just deleted. First thing we want to do is move this little fuel container back over here. I think it turns this way. And we'll tuck that right up underneath here. Next thing we want is this little workshop, which is right here. We're going to turn it around this way and stick it right in this little doorway. You see it says overlaps with another object. We just go up and change that. See in our menu up and through there, toggle free mode. Now we can put this anywhere we want. And we're going to go over here and take this pressure washer and we're going to tuck it right on the other side here. Hit your key again to toggle free mode. We're going to put it right there. But for now, we can fuel up here. We can do our repairs here and pressure wash. We'll add a few more accessories in this little area a little bit later on. What we want to do now is add a fence around our cow pasture here. You can see this green grid here. We can turn that grid on and off, but for now it marks the area where we can put a fence. It makes sense that we can make a fence bigger, but we don't want to make the fence smaller. If we make the fence smaller than that area, then you're going to see the cows stick their head through the fence at some point in time. So the first thing we do is go into our construction menu, over to decoration, down to fences, and this is the fence I like right here. So let's zoom in a little bit, go over to the corner of the barn, start our fence right there. Now let's zip on down here along the edge of the fence to about the corner. Zip on around the other side. Kind of come down here so we can see that it's nice and straight. Then we'll zip up along here and connect it at the corner. Right there. And then hit your cancel button. Cuts it off. Up over the fence and we'll run over here. Hit our B key. That's it right there. Good job. Now let's get back to landscaping around the farmhouse. First thing I want to do around the farmhouse is with this lake here, got to have a pier. So we go into our construction menu, over to decoration, over to others, and here is a wooden plank bridge. We can bring that thing out here. If we get far enough down, if we get too up high, it's going to be above the water level, but this is going to look like a floating pier here. We can also go in here and put a little bench on here. Put that right over here. There is also a grill in here somewhere. There's the grill. Let's put a grill over here. And now let's just do just a little bit of landscaping around here real quick. Go into painting, go over here to our gravel. Let's make this brush a round one. And we are going to create a path up through here. And we're going to go from the back door here. We'll just gravel this whole little area in through here. We'll go up around the side of the house. Let's get a path directly down to the pier. And let's make a place to park a car. Now let's just go in and cover over some of this dark area here to make it grassy looking. And now we'll go in and just put plain grass in here. Right to the water's edge here. The other thing I want to do is extend this lawn out across the front here. So we go back into paint. Let's come out about, say, this far. Let's just try to get straight across and go straight back there. Touch up that corner. Get a bigger brush. Let's cover all of this over. Go back and put a little bit of our grass, or gravel rather, in here. Then come back in with the grass and just touch the edges. It's kind of tricky. It takes a little playing around, but you have to sort of sneak up on it. They won't. That's not too awful bad. Now let's put some plants in here. Let's get some grass going back. And let's just do this. Let's come out through here. Let's just sweep this back in and around the corner a little bit. When it comes to some of these other areas, just use your own artistic abilities and just do whatever you want with some of this. Come over here and do the same thing on the other side here. Make it as big or as small as you want. Always use a round brush to do the grass because it sort of will get in some of these little areas. You don't have to get right up to the edge. You can leave a little bit of that regular little green paint underneath there, and it'll still look good. Now you can go around the entire area here and go around your horse stable. You can go around your greenhouses. Go around some of your different areas over here. And I'll show you an example towards the end of the video when we show what it looks like after we've done a lot of landscaping all around. Here in the manure pit, I like to use this animal mud. Come in and just lay a base of this animal mud in here. And of all things, this forest ground. If you use the smallest little circular thing here, you can throw in patches of this forest ground in here, just enough to throw some little coloration in here. It's kind of dirty looking. Just anything like that sort of gives it an effect like this. Now, the big reason I moved the horse stable and the chicken coop over to a different area is because I want to expand this area out through here, expand this field out here so that I can make it a little bit larger, and we're going to use that to grow grass so that we can make silage and hay for our cows. Now, there's a mod in the mod hub that will allow you to create a new field with a cultivator instead of a plow. A plow is only going to get you a couple of meters wide, where this particular cultivator will get you a lot wider. In the upper left-hand corner, you see where it says allow create fields. That is what we want to do. So we'll pull up in here, we'll drop our cultivator down, and we will create a field. And all we have to do is just drive the shape that we want. Now I'm going to round this off a little bit, and you can make this field as big as you want. You're going to round this off, come out through here. I like to have my fields just a little irregularly shaped, not a whole lot, but there's not a whole lot of straight lines in nature, so we're going to make things curve a little bit. I'm going to bring this in through here, and then we will go over and tie back into this other line of the field here. And we're going to go ahead and extend that while we're at it. See if I can get this lined up. Here again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's come through here. We will square this end off. Well, no, we won't. We'll make it a little bit rounded too. So let's go ahead and make our turn here. Go straight towards the road. Then we'll go up here and make another left-hand turn to have another curve, and we'll try as best we can to tie into this edge like that. Okay? Now all we have to do is continue that process and create the rest of this field by filling in the areas that we just outlined. And there again, you can make it any shape you want to. The idea is just to make this field considerably larger so that we can have more area to plant a crop in. Speaking of crops, let's do one more little trick over here in this other field that we own. Currently, this thing says that we have potatoes growing in here. Not a big fan of working the potatoes. Takes a lot of equipment, a lot of expensive equipment. What we can do is utilize our easy development controls, hit our function 12 key. We are here on fields and farmland. We click on that. We're on field 10. And what we want to do is let's change this to oat. We're in March and we can plant oat. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll select it as being sown. The ground layer, we can put fertilizer at 100% if we want to, or anything you want. We can show that it's already been plowed. We can show that there's no weeds. You can select various stages of weeds if you want to do that right now, but we're going to show it as none. We're going to show the field as being limed already. We have not used any herbicide on it. We're showing that it does not need rolling, and we're not doing stones at the moment, but if we did, we could select the state that we needed for the stones. Then all we have to do is go down here and hit confirm, and then confirm and close. Now, if we go back out, you see the field's changed already because our field info down here now says that we're growing oat and we're in growth stage 1 of 4. Of course, you go through the whole process of plowing this whole thing up, cultivating it, and sowing all of your seed, but we just want to set up our base game to suit the style of gameplay that we're going to do. We can go in and use the easy development controls to set up our game. You don't necessarily do this while you're in the game doing your farming, because that just kind of defeats the purpose of Farm Simulator. So this is what we look like for now, kind of a work in progress. We put a little fence in, we've done a little bit of landscaping, we're going to create a much bigger field out this way. And so as you do your own customizations based on things that I've showed you how to do in this video, I'll show you in just a minute what it looks like, or it looks like what I've done on it anyway. So here's what the farm looks like after I got finished with it. I've landscaped around all of my buildings a little bit. The fenced-in cow barn has cows in it now. Here's my new field that I created, or expanded rather. Some landscaping around the greenhouses, around my fermenting silo, a little bit more around the horse stable. I've added some trees, some shrubs. This big area in the middle here, you can kind of do about anything you want in it. I put a solar panel in it to generate some money, and a windmill. A little bit of landscaping, a little bit of flowers in there. I put a little more decoration on our pier. Added a little storage building there. Bought a new pickup truck. We've kind of closed in some of these corner areas and rounded and smoothed them off a little bit. A little bit of landscaping, a little close up around here. Some more trees, a few shrubs. I could probably landscape around this greenhouse a little bit more, maybe add some other stuff. There's a lot of wide open space here that you can do just about anything you want to. It's a close up of the shop area. And I've added a few more little decorations inside here. There's a lift, ladder, some storage shelves, workbench, things like that. I've done a little bit more graveling out the back here. But there's no limit to what you can do with it, and you just customize it to your liking. So there you have it, a little bit more work around our Harvest Valley farm build. So don't be afraid to dive in and do what you want. Make it yours. Do any modifications that you feel you want to do, and make it look just the way you want it to. In our next video, we're going to dive into a mod called Autodrive. It's a mod that's not available on the Mod Hub. We have to go to a third-party website to get it, but I've been using it for a couple of years now. I haven't had any issues with it. It is constantly updated and improved, and it really adds to the enjoyment of the game, in my opinion. So we're going to dive into that in our next video. So that about wraps things up for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure and visit our Farm Bubba homepage for more videos. And while you're there, please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to be notified when the next video posts. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of our little farm build here. Let me know what other improvements you might want to make or that you would like to see done in another video. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.